Hi, YouTubers. So, I'm in the garage again. Guess what I'll be doing? I'm smoking a nice big-ass cigar. So, as the big-ass cigar for life. Anyway, the house of keeping, smoking this Gran Habano cigar, a nice big-ass cigar, and I'm using my lighter again. Anyway, so, let's get this bad boy fired up. Anyway, very damn cold here right now. Whew! Whew! Holy shit, almost inhaled. Almost inhaled. Sorry about that. Anyway, a car was just going by, so... One sec. Sorry I had to spit. Anyway. Anyway, that's a nice big-ass cigar. So, anyway, I just want to check in with you guys. Today is February 4th of 2022, which is pretty fucking amazing. You know, the year's flying by. So, anyway, we had a crappy day, another crappy day here in Massachusetts. We say Massachusetts, we so damn cold here, damn hot here, damn. Yeah, so I was over at my parents' house, like I said yesterday. I came over yesterday as opposed to today because it's, you know, such crappy weather, such you know, shitty weather. So yeah, we had freezing rain all day, and if you, I can't really show you guys because I can't really bring the camera out there, but basically, essentially the entire driveway of my parents' house is covered in, like, I mean, fucking covered in ice. Unbelievable. Whole driveway is, or not, most of the driveway is covered in, at least I would say a third of the driveway is covered in ice, which is pretty not nice. Ice and nice. So yeah, ice is not nice. And yeah, so anyway, enough of that crap. So yeah, very, very, very bad weather. All the snow has been frozen with the rain, the damn rain. It's been frozen. It's now just slush and also just messy frozen snow. It's like a skating rink out there. So anyway, so I had a nice day today. I slept late today. Slept till about almost 10 o'clock. And then I woke up, took a shower, you know, weighed myself this morning. I'm about 234 still, which is how I was last week, 234 in the dot. So I would really, really like to be closer to 230, probably by the spring sometime, because my goal, like I said, by the time I have my next liver scan for my fatty liver, to be about like 225, 220. So I would hope by like April or May, I'm somewhere around like, you know, 230 or so, because then in the next like 6 months I can work on losing another 5 or 10 pounds. Car going by. One sec. Yeah, the cars are having trouble driving because it's so wet and so slushy. You know, so slushy and not slutty, but slushy. So yeah, it's so the roads are terrible. I'm surprised we were even driving today because all the places around here, like all the restaurants, are closed. Yeah, nobody wants to be on the road today, but I guess some people have to be on the road. Whatever, that kind of crap, you know. So back to what I was saying about my weight. Yeah, I would hope by the mid-spring, you know, April or May, be around like 230 or so, and I can work on getting that to like 220, 225. I mean, I haven't been at 220 since 2017, since I went on that big, you know, weight gain between 2017 2018, and obviously the trolls are going to bitch at me and say like, oh, you stupid fatty, you don't wipe your butt, you smell like BO, you smell like bacon and eggs, you smell like, you know, whatever, you know, fried egg. Well, you get the freaking point. So trolls are idiots. So yeah, trolls are idiots, and they just like to pick on people. So and like to, you know, tell people all kinds of crap. So you know, just, you know, talk crap about people. So whew. Almost inhaled again. Not sure why that is. Maybe it's because the cigar has an open draw. So, yeah, very loose draw on the cigar. Yeah, it didn't sound right. So, yeah, almost inhaled. Holy shit. So, anyway, yeah. So, yeah, my goal is to, lose some weight. If you're wondering why I'm kind of leaning back like this, it's because the car's in the garage. My dad's car's in the garage. And, yeah. So, yeah. I actually got a comment on my video yesterday, and I'm not trying to out people, whatever, or dox people, whatever, but I'm just trying to respond to this comment. I actually wanted to respond to this comment today, which is somebody wrote me a comment, basically said, and I'm not upset, believe me, this didn't hurt my feelings or anything like that. It's just, oh, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but in the background there's some freezing rain coming down. So anyway, yeah, the person wrote me a comment saying, "Why no license?" Which basically, essentially, he wanted to know why I don't drive. And the long story short, the reason why, oh, that's really loud actually. You can hear the rain coming down. Whew. Yeah. So. People want to know why I don't drive, and I kind of talked about it yesterday, how I don't have a license. I have a state-issued ID, but I don't have a driver's license. I don't drive. I really haven't driven for many, many years. And people might ask, why the hell is that? Why the hell don't you drive? Doesn't that limit you? Doesn't that, affect, your ability to get to work? How the hell do you get to work if you don't drive? How the hell do you do your grocery shopping? How the hell do you get to, doctor's appointments? Wow, that's loud rain. That rain is damn loud. Anyway, and the answer is essentially number one, in terms of doctor's appointments, I should be a little bit careful here because of my confidentiality, but doctor's appointments, my parents take me to them, and I have people, counselors who take me to them. And number two, in terms grocery shopping, the grocery store is kind of near where I live, and that's it's within walking distance, so that's really not an issue. And in terms of work, because if people don't know, I work at Roche Brothers. I'm a cart person and a bagger. I push carts and bag groceries. And essentially, people might say how the hell do you get to work? If you don't have a license. Again, it's within walking distance. I'm not going to say where I live because obviously that's my fucking confidentiality. Confidentiality. So. All I will say is it's within walking distance to where I live, so I don't have to rely on a car to get to work. And I will say that, when I walk to work, it's, it's a safe walk. It's not like I'm walking across a highway, or I'm walking across a busy intersection or anything like that. So anyway. Enough of that crap. So, yeah, that's the reason I don't have a license. And why? And you might say, why don't you have a license? Why don't you choose to drive yourself? And the answer is because I tried driving when I was 18, 16, 17, 18 years old. I had my learner's permit. I never got my license, my driver's license. The reason is because it's stressful. It's very stressful for me to drive, and I have no interest currently in driving because currently, like I said, I don't need my damn license, and I'm not trying to offend people or dox people, or be mean to people or be a bitch to people, and say oh, driving, sucks, it sucks, it fucking sucks, it's believe me, I'm sure a lot of people love driving. It's they love having easy access to a car. And I know in a lot of our states, people absolutely have to have a license. Like in California, for example, there's basically essentially no public transportation, and people have to have a license to get around because it's all highways. It's all frickin' highways. People need a license to get around. But where I live, everything's, there's not a whole lot of highways really close to where I live. And I'm gonna be a little bit careful here, but I mean, it's not every place there's a frickin' highway. So anyway, a freaking highway. So anyway, yeah. So that's the reason I don't drive myself, is because it's really stressful as hell. I tried driving; it's just really stressful as hell. And I don't know. I mean, at some point in my life, maybe I'll revisit the idea of getting my license, but I don't know. I have no interest right now, and I'm getting a new state issue ID pretty soon in a couple months. So it's funny because over in Europe, people don't rely on their like. Oh, car going by. 1 sec. It's funny because over in Europe, people don't rely as much on their license. There's so much more public transportation in Europe, and also gas prices. Not gases and farts. But gases and gas, fucking gas, is so high. People have to rely on public transportation. Well, they don't have to, but I mean, a lot of European countries you have to be 18 to drive. You have to be 18 as opposed to 16, and yeah, it's like here in Massachusetts, you have to be 16 to have a permit and 16 and a half to have a license. I know some other states it's a little bit different, maybe like 15 or so, or like 17. But here in Massachusetts, it's 16 and a half to 16 and a half or 16.5 to have a license. And then between 16 and a half and 18, there's a lot of restrictions. That's why a lot of people wait till they're 18 years old to get a license, because there's so many restrictions upon people who are under 18. One of those restrictions is if you get any sort of speeding ticket when you're under 18, obviously not legal advice, you automatically lose your license for 90 days. And that's why a lot of people just wait till they're 18, is because I mean, not to say that I'm encouraging people by any means to be bad drivers, but a lot of people, it's like if they fuck up once, they're out like $5,000. It's like the cost to reinstate a person under 18's license is like $7,000, and that's why a lot of people just wait till they're 18. And keep in mind, most colleges. A lot of colleges will not even allow freshmen to have cars. It's funny because the RMV, or the Department of Motor Vehicles, the Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV or the RMV in Massachusetts, really they encourage people to get their license when they're 16 and a half, for the experience. You get experience, you get 18 months of experience, 18 months extra of experience by getting your license at 16 as opposed to 18. But what they don't tell you, what the DMV or the RMV doesn't tell you, is most colleges do not allow freshmen to have a license. That's the part they leave out, is most major universities, most major colleges have a policy that says, I'm not saying every college, but most colleges have a policy that says freshmen are not allowed to have a license, or not allowed to have a car, not allowed to have a car on campus. It's only sophomores and subsequent. So anyway, in terms of maybe like community college a little bit different. Like I went to a community college. Obviously, like a community college. Oh yeah, you could probably have a license, but keep in mind, most people, especially where I live, the area I live, most people don't go to community college. Most people want a very high-paying job, and most people want to definitely get a high-paying job. And you tend to. I'm not saying community college sucks by any means. I'm not trying to dox community colleges, whatever. But community colleges in general, it's not the same caliber as state colleges, because state colleges you get a bachelor's as opposed to a 2-year degree, associate's, or a 1-year degree certification. Like I have a certification, like I have a paralegal certification, a 1-year paralegal certification. Oh, look at that ash, dead ash on that big ass cigar. Yeah, I have a 1-year certification, and it's like it's not a bad degree. I mean, it will definitely, get me accepted if I wanted to go into like a law office or like a clerical office. But keep in mind, a lot of employers prefer a bachelor's or a 5-year degree, or like a master's, as opposed to like, for example, like a 1-year certification or a 2-year associate's. It's not to say that you can't get a job. It's physically impossible for you to get a job, but with how competitive the market is, especially with COVID and all, it's definitely it's definitely preferable if you have a bachelor's, because what people are finding, and this is what I found personally when I did the job search myself, is, I'm just going to tap off the ash. what people are finding is, people who have 1 year certifications or 2 year associates, most of their, like entry jobs tend to be more like something they don't really want. Like I chose to work at, Roche Brothers, the grocery store, which was not my first choice, but obviously it's a pretty good job. In terms of people, who got like a 4 or 5 year bachelor's, they tend to have like, they do some type of like, clerical office work, but not like the office work they want to, not like, working in a top-notch, law firm. So, to answer the question, it's like, back to the whole subject of, having, a license. It's like, most, colleges are not going to allow you to have a license, or not allow you to have they're going to allow you to have a license, a fucking license, but they're not going to allow you to have a car on campus on your first year at college. And that's what the RMV, or their Department of Motor Vehicles, leaves out in their descriptions online, is they say, they make it seem like, oh, if you don't get your license till you're 18, you're going to be a new driver on campus in college, like in like Boston, fucking Boston, or fucking Worcester, and that's just not the case, It's like very few, especially in Worcester and Boston, very few colleges are going to say, oh, we're totally okay with a freshman having, a car on their first year at college, fresh out of high school. It's just not the case. Just not the shit, So, anyway, yeah, so, and that's why a lot of people wait till they're 18 years old. And I mean, I made the decision myself when I was, when I was 17 years old, when I was in high school, that if I was going to get my license, I was going to wait till I was 18 years old. And also by doing so, you save money on insurance, because keep in mind, insurance, car insurance, which you're required to have by law. It's a criminal offense to drive without insurance in Massachusetts. I mean, it's a big deal, actually. You can get into a lot of shit, If you don't have insurance, you can be arrested. You can be jailed for not having insurance. And, yeah, so you're required to have frickin' insurance, and you save a lot of money by waiting till you're 18 years old. You save about I heard back about 13 years ago, somewhere around like $200 you save on your insurance by waiting till you're 18 years old. It might be more nowadays. Probably is closer to 300 or 400, I would imagine, nowadays. But I'm not sure about that, and don't quote me on that by any means. But yeah, you do save money on your insurance, because putting somebody who's 16 and a half on insurance is very high risk, and that your insurance company, especially for the parents, the poor parents, is going to increase your insurance like sky high. I know my brother, has his license, and when he went on their insurance when he was, 17 years old, the insurance went up, significantly. I can't say how much, but I mean, it went up by a hell of a lot. I mean, a damn decent amount. So, yeah, that's another reason, people wait till they're 18 years old, is you're going to save money on insurance. The older you are when you get your license and you actually get insurance, which you're required to have by law, you're required to have registration, you're required to have insurance, you're required to have a valid license. You're also going to save a lot of money. So you're going to save a lot of money on your insurance, and yeah, so it's like if you wait till you're 21 or 22, you might save $500, $600, maybe even more. So that's another reason you sort of take this band off. Yeah, it's like, now I'm a 30-year-old adult. I'll be 31 pretty soon. 31 this spring. If I got my license now, I probably, compared to somebody who's 16 and a half, I'd probably be paying about the same as somebody who's 40 or 50. Well, probably somewhere around that. Somewhere around that. The insurance company, they gauge you in terms of how risky of a driver you are. Do you have any speeding tickets? Do you have any DUIs? Or as we call them in Massachusetts, OUIs. We call drunk driving OUIs in Massachusetts, not DUIs. Some state calls them DWIs or OUIs or OWIs. We call them OUIs in Massachusetts, operating under the influence of alcohol or drugs. And, so I'm not a fucking lawyer, and yeah, so they're going to look at you. Do you have any OUIs? Do you have any speeding tickets, moving violations? Do you have any risky behavior, special needs, etc., etc.? So, And obviously that was not legal advice. So I didn't just give you legal advice. It's just like, this is obviously just general information. I have people ask me all the time, can you give me legal advice? Obviously I can't, because I can't do that shit because I'm not a lawyer. So a paralegal is not a lawyer. So a paralegal is just an assistant to a lawyer, assistant to a lawyer, not a actual fucking lawyer. So anyway, so yeah. So there's a lot of benefits to delaying to get your license, and not everybody needs a license. Like I certainly don't need a license now. It's like I certainly don't need the hectic mess, the shit mess of having a license. And around here, at least where I live, I'm not gonna say where I live, it would be a nightmare driving. I mean, driving around here is a nightmare. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, I would not enjoy driving. So. That's the answer to the question. And believe me, I wasn't upset about people asking me that question. I had that question asked me quite a bit. People ask me, like, what kind of car do you drive? Do you drive? Do you have any interest in getting your license? Will you ever get your license? So believe me, I wasn't upset. I wasn't pissed off or anything like that. So anyway, I just wanted to answer that question. Anyway, I'm almost at the end of this video. Almost 21 minutes long. So, the rain's coming on pretty damn hard. So, Massachusetts be so damn cold here, damn hot here, damn. Anyway, so not a whole lot more to report. I'm probably going to have something good for dinner tonight. A couple cars going by. Oh, that car's going a little bit too fast. So, bad roads and going too fast don't work very well. So, not a good combination. So, that's another reason I don't have no interest in driving. Not to say that I would speed myself, but I mean, so. Okay, that's about it. So, I just wanted to check in, say hi. There will be another smoking video tomorrow, most likely. Anyway, pretty fucking cool. Pretty damn nice, pretty damn decent, pretty damn cool. Bye.